podcast.
What are we calling this podcast?
Meg and Rene have super good opinions, and everybody likes them.
I love that podcast.
Amazing.
I love that name. Today, in spirit of Valentine's Day, we're going to talk about some love life related things like attachment styles and what they are, or toxic relationships and relationships in general, and then maybe we'll get into Valentine's Day as a whole.
Do we like it? Do we hate it?
You're going to love it. So, when we think about attachment styles, do you know what your attachment style is?
Are you talking about, like, not love languages, like anxious, avoidant, that kind of thing?
We can talk about love languages, too.
We should, yeah.
We should talk about love languages.
Okay, but for now, I'm definitely an anxious attachment style.
Yeah.
I get with a person, and I'm like, hey, please pay attention to me, I love you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know, like, where that kind of, like, stems from?
Yeah.
Is that something, that's, like, a genuine question, is I don't know where attachment styles stem from, and I think my attachment style is sort of like a contradiction, because I would say that I'm an anxious avoidant.
That is a thing, actually.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of my friends are anxious avoidant.
Really?
But it usually comes from, like, in your early, like, relationships, like, parents, family, but also, like, friendships. Like, how were you treated?
I see.
And so, like, for me, it was a lot of, like, nobody's paying attention to me, and I'm not, like, you know, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get the, like, proper attention. And
right.
So I'm just going to cling on to people for...
I see.
Yeah.
So I would say that's valid with me. I think I definitely have a fear of abandonment, and I want reassurance, but I also value I'm so used to being independent, and I value my independence so much that I'm not going to ask for it, and I'm not going to beg people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I'm going to almost avoid being vulnerable.
Yeah.
I guess. Because if I'm vulnerable, then that means that in my brain, when people leave, inevitably, it'll hurt more, or it'll hurt less.
Yeah, I definitely have that, I think, with, like, friendships. I think friendships I tend to be, like, anxious avoidant. Because I'm, like, honestly, for friendships, I'm kind of just avoidant.
You think?
Yeah, because I'm not really, like, I'm kind of somebody who, like, I'll disappear off the face of the earth for, like, 3 weeks.
That's how I am, too.
Yeah, it'll mean nothing.
I really value low-maintenance friendships.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my friends, that's where a lot of my friendships in my life it's been the root issue, is I disappear off the face of the earth, and they think that it's personal, when it's really not. And maybe that is, like, a flaw. And there's been part of me that grapples with my bad friend because of doing this, but I think it's not personal. Nothing has changed. I just don't feel the need to be close all the time. I don't feel the need to talk all the time, but I'm going to come back and it's going to be, like, right where we left off.
Yeah, I'm definitely the same. I think a big thing for me is I've had to, like, some people are going to really vibe with that. And then some aren't, and I gotta, like, it's okay for like, other people to not vibe with that. Right. It's okay for other people to want to be, like, we're besties, we're attached at the hip, whatever. But, like, I know for me, I'm like, okay, I haven't talked to you in 3 weeks, but, like, or even, like, my best friend growing up, like, we won't see each other for 6 months, and then we'll be like, well, yeah, obviously, you're my best friend, and you know everything about me.
Right,
and it's just, like, that's just fine.
That's just, yeah. I think that's just a difference in, like, even you and I don't think we spoke at all over winter break.
No, I think I sent you, like, one video being like, haha, you're stinky, or something, like, along those lines.
Oh, yeah, it communicating through Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
That's so bad. No, yeah, I think that's just, like, a great representation of even how you and I are able to communicate.
Yeah.
It's just, we can go weeks and it's fine.
Yeah,
it's not personal.
Also, I think we're both, it's not personal in general, because I feel like also we're both people who, like, our friendship style is like, hey, did you know that you suck and you're stinky and no one likes you? And we're like, haha, yeah, you're so right. But, like, I know other people that would make them so
that
insecure.
would make them really upset. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think how does going back to dating, how does your attachment styles kind of show up in your relationships, like in your texting habits and in your conflict response? Are you a fight or a flight or a freeze or things like that.
I'm definitely, so for that, I'm definitely a flight. I want to get the heck out of there. And I think for, like, communication, so early relationships, I'm not there. I have such a hard time forming attachments to people that, like, until we're, like, 3 months into our relationship, I probably don't feel anything, which, like, sounds really bad, but it's just, I don't develop those feelings.
Yeah.
And so then, but then when, like, okay, you're gonna be it for a while, I'm like, let's call, you know, not even all the time. It's like, call every other night, you know. Maybe I'm not anxious. Maybe I've just dated a lot of avoidance. I'm kind of wondering if that's the thing. Because, like, I don't know, my first college relationship, both of us were not locked into that relationship, and we'd text, like, once a week.
Really?
Yeah. And so then, like, my last relationship, it was like, hey, please pay attention. Like, can we call, can you, like, come over once a week? And so I think I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just attached like a person.
Right.
And it's more the issue of, like, I think the anxious attachment is more the fact that I'm so scared of them to leave. So it's not like I constantly communicate or things, but I'm like, I will do anything to make this work, even if it's, like, detrimental.
Right. That's kind of how I was too. I think my texting habits, I mean, I have I have 400 unread messages, so my texting habits don't really count here, but I will say in my relationships, they're the person that I actually will pick up my phone and respond to. But I think in my conflict responses, I'm definitely a freeze. And I think that's probably comes with the contradiction of my attachment style. If you're an avoidant, anxious, you don't really know where to fall back on.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big fear of mine, is just rejection.
Yeah.
And so I'm anxious about getting left, but I don't need anyone. You know, I'm too independent for that.
Yeah, I think a big thing for me, especially, like, this last year and after leaving my last relationship, it was, like, it's kind of the thing that I think a lot of people have with job interviews, where they're so worried about getting the job that they're not thinking about if the job is for them.
Right.
So a lot of the time it's like, oh, like, I, like, don't leave because it's like, I want that relationship. But it's like, oh, maybe this actually never worked.
Right.
And so I think it's been, like, a big learning curve.
Yeah.
I think I kind of get, like, yeah, that it's part of your personality, because I think it's like, oh yeah, if you're just, like, somebody who's always very, like, like, you want to be around, it's kind of like an introvert extrovert thing that I think it kind of gets boiled down to, of, like, anxious attachment is extroverts, and then, like, avoidant is introverts. And I feel like that's because I'm very, I'd say, like, extroverted.
You are very extroverted.
Yeah, but, like, also I don't think that the anxious attachment is in the same realm as that, because I'm extroverted in a way that, like, I'm going to talk to 50 people and they're all going to be my friends and none of them are going to know anything about me.
Right. That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say that I'm an introverted extrovert.
Yeah.
That's, like, and that comes with...
Yeah.
It's just...
So ours both line up.
Ours both line up, for sure.
That's not... They don't come from the same place.
Right.
Yeah.
So, have you ever dated someone... I think this kind of falls into our next topic, which is toxic relationships. Have you ever dated someone who triggered the worst version of your attachment style?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I had so many conversations with my last ex where I would be crying on the phone, begging, like, basically to have an argument. I'm like, hey, this is an issue, and I continue to tell you this is an issue, and you won't talk to me about it. And so I would basically be having a conflict just, like, by myself. So it'd be the other person's, like, you know, sitting there like, oh, I don't know what you want me to say. And I'm like, this is what I want you to say. And then I end up solving the issue. And I think that was kind of, because I would be, like, sobbing over basically, like, hey, you live 45 minutes away. You can come over once a week. Or, like...
Just, like, the bare minimum things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you would say just that sort of avoidant style, being an anxious person.
Yeah, it's just, like...
I would say that mine was pretty similar. My last relationship, I think it was just a secular nature of the same problems over and over and over, and we'd be able to have arguments, but it would mostly just be me blowing up, him folding, I'm so sorry, I'll do better, I promise, you don't deserve this. and then 2 weeks later we'd be back in the same place.
That's exactly, yeah.
We did it for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I think going back to what you said about, that's where my anxious attachment comes out, going back to what you said of, I will do anything to make it work, even at my own expense.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And I think it's like, because that was a big thing, because my breakup, the thing I most remember about that relationship breaking up is when I said, hey, you keep promising me that you'll get better. You'll promise me, like, you'll go to therapy, all of this stuff. When I said, when I was like, hey, you keep saying this, it keeps not happening, and we keep running into the same problems. Mm-hmm. He said, well, obviously you know I'm not going to now. Mm-hmm. Which, like, the fact that it was like you caught the fact that I'm not going to, and rather than being like, maybe I am, like, maybe I do need to fix this, it was like, well, I guess you know, why even continue this? Right. It was so strange.
I think once my ex realized that I was actually I could be perfectly fine without him.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say, I learned how to be independent within a relationship while I was with him. Mm-hmm. I would say that I was just still very, very attached.
Yeah. Can't believe this unprofessionalism.
Sorry. I would say that I was just very, very attached, but I think once he realized that I was okay without him, and I had friends of my own, and I wasn't going home every weekend to see him, and that's when he realized that I was being serious when I said that I was going to leave if he didn't go to therapy and he didn't change. And then that's when he decided that he was going to go to therapy and change, and that's when I decided to break things off. And yeah. I think that breakup was hard for me to do, but I mean, I didn't shed a single tear.
Yeah.
War was over. Mm-hmm. And it was an internal war for a long time. And that leads me into my next question is, what does toxic actually mean in terms of it's not just messy or like a hard relationship or uncomfortable?
I feel like toxic, I mean, because it rides the line on, like, abuse, and I think there's definitely things, like, I can't speak for your relationship. I know there are things, like, that go into that line, but it's just, like, it's when I think a relationship should, like, build each other up, and, like, you should be building, like, a life together, and instead of that, it's you're constantly, like, giving things of yourself away. Mm-hmm. A way that I like to think about it is, like, I don't know if you've ever kept plants, but, like, root rot. Where it, like, it seems like it's filling up, and it seems like you're getting the stuff that you need, but it's actually just, like, rotting you in from the inside.
Right. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. I think for a while it was rotting me from the inside, but I think there is just a time when I realized that I wasn't going to let it anymore. Mm-hmm. I just needed to find a way out, but the only way out was through, and I wasn't ready to end it, so I just let it ride its course until I was ready to be done. But internally, I was done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think as soon as I started, I continued to hide things from my friends about our relationship. It was...
That's a huge one.
How are you and blank doing? We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. That was it. Yeah. That was it. They didn't know anything about it because it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to know that I was being treated bad because I knew what they were going to say.
Yeah.
And I knew that it was going to be... And all of my friends wanted me to end things with him. They wouldn't tell me it because they knew I didn't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. But it was... And as soon as I told them, and as soon as I told my family about all the things, that's when I knew, like... You gotta get out. Yeah. You gotta go. But
for me, it was a lot of hiding things from my friends, but it was also, like, friends who did just catch it because it wasn't always, like, secret. It was, like, I so hope this person doesn't tell other people.
Right.
And that was kind of a big thing for me of, like, if this is something that, like, it's the thing in your mind of, like, but I know this person and I know why they're doing it, and I think even if they have a why, which usually it's not that good of one, it's, like, that's not enough to justify treating another person like this.
Right. I agree. Why do you think people stay?
Oh, my goodness. There are so many reasons. I feel like even, like, your and I's reasons. Like, we've talked about, we've had some similar experiences, like, in our last relationships. But, like, I know for me, it was, like, I have put so much into this person. And, like, I have been told so many things that it's, like, I have, like, it's the sunk cost fallacy. But then it was also, like, there was so much being told to me of just, like, straight up lying, but also, like, it was a constant thing that, like, oh, yeah, like, you're not that smart, and you're not, and I'm like, what?
Right.
So if this person, like, allegedly thinks that I'm so great despite all these things, when am I ever going to find that again?
Right. And I think that's exactly where we have similarity. And so leaving those relationships are really hard because you're told that you're not going to find anything else. So there's that fear of being alone, and there's just that it's just manipulation. It's ingrained in you to believe that you're better off here than anywhere else and on your own.
I think a lot of the times what confused me was, like, when I see portrayed in media or just, like, people talking about it, it's always seen as so aggressive, and it never was. It was always like, oh, haha, or, like, I'd be like, hey, if we ever broke up, like, we need to talk about it. It's like, well, we're never gonna break up, so it doesn't matter.
Right?
And then there's the, like, you know, threats of, like, themselves, or, like, what's gonna happen if you do break up, and, like, I'm not gonna be able to function without you. And I'm like, okay, so I have to fix this person, because either then I fix them and I can leave, or maybe things will get better.
I never had the fear of my person harming themselves. I definitely had the I can fix them mentality, though, because it was more of I had to earn their love. I had to prove it. I had to prove myself to them, and that's how I was raised. I always felt like I needed to win, and I needed to win the affection of others. Yeah. And so with him, it was perfect because he was so avoidant and very fair weathered. He would only show affection when it was convenient for him. And so I had to earn that, and so it was like a reward almost. I think a lot of times in toxic relationships, how they can start is people confusing compatibility with chemistry. Yeah. You can have great chemistry with someone and be very, very incompatible in the way that you guys argue, and the way, and so many factors, the way that you communicate with people, arguing, just everything. And I think that's a really big issue, especially in people's relationships our age. Yeah. And I see a lot of people who, are even getting married, who they have basic just compatibility struggles. Yeah. And I just can't imagine. Yeah, I think there's definitely, in my mind, you can't have compatibility without having chemistry. But I think you can have chemistry and not have compatibility. Yeah. And it's just, how far deep into a relationship do you have to get to realize we're not actually compatible at all? Yeah. Actually.
I think a hard relationship, you are working together to overcome obstacles. I think a toxic relationship, it is you, like, trying to do the things, or, like, either party. And, like, I even have, like fighting against each other. It's, like, that's, like, the cliche thing of, like, fighting each other versus the problem. Of, like, when there's never a solution, and there's never an attempt of one, even. Right. Like, I think that's when it becomes toxic. Because I think there's also situations where, like, it's not one person or the other. It's just, like, you guys just, like, don't. Like, you bring out the worst parts of each other. Right. And it doesn't mean either of you are inherently bad people. It's just, like, it does not work. It doesn't mesh. So, I'm trying to think what all there are. So, love languages, they've, like, kind of been disproven, and that's fine. But they're fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I think love languages are so real.
That's fair. I think it's the idea that you can only have one. That's kind of like, yeah,
I have multiple. I think there's also a difference in the way that you receive love and the way that you show love.
Yeah, because that's definitely a thing. So it's words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving,
physical touch,
yeah,
quality time.
Is there 6?
I think there's 5.
Okay, I believe
Let's consult my friend Google.
Okay, yeah, I've been known to be wrong. I've dabbled in the subject.
How many love languages are there? 5.
Oh, okay.
Words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and gifts. Identified by Dr. Gary Chapman.
Swag.
Thank you, Google.
Yeah, I know definitely for me, it's different, and it's also different of, like, the levels of, like, a friendship or a relationship. Because, like, I know, like, if I'm starting out, it's like, quality time. Love quality time. I think that's so great. And then I very, very quickly, in terms of receiving, is physical touch. And then giving, starting out, I'm like, okay, great, I'm going to give you so many words of affirmation. And then I'm like, okay, I know you well, like, enough now. And so I'm going to give you such hyper-specific gifts.
I think with me, when it comes to showing love, I will give them my time. And I'm a big gift giver.
Yeah.
So I think it's quality time and gifts, but when it comes to receiving, I think that it's acts of service and physical touch.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and words of affirmation. What is it? Can I have 3?
Yeah, you can have 3. I think rank them, though.
Ooh, okay. Okay, I think probably words of affirmation are number 1.
Okay.
When it comes to receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I like gifts too, but it's like...
Yeah, I would much rather give a gift than receive a gift any day.
I agree. I would rather give one, and I think words of affirmation in and of themselves are gifts.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just not... I think I'm, like, obviously not in my past relationships, but, like, here and now, as a person, I'm so confident in myself that, like, whatever words of affirmation you want to give me, and it'll be like, oh yeah, you're so hot, and I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I wouldn't say it comes from a lack of confidence.
Yeah,
within myself.
Yeah,
I would say that it's just like I just need some reassurance.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think it's also different in relationships. I think mine, maybe confidence is the wrong word. Maybe it's just like, I don't know.
Just security.
Wrong. Yeah.
I just want to feel secure within a relationship.
Maybe part of it for me, because I think, honestly, words of affirmation probably used to be one, but I think I've had so many hollow words of affirmation that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What does it even mean?
Right? Yeah. I mean, being in a relationship now, that the words of affirmation they're true.
Yeah.
Means a lot.
Yeah, I think it also, like, I think people underestimate the, like, words of affirmation and acts of service, like, combo.
Yeah.
Those have got to go together.
They do. They go hand in hand. And I think acts of service, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
But I'm just such a sucker. I mean, I'm a writer. I'm such a sucker for words.
Yeah.
That they mean a lot. And I'm also an incredibly busy person. So if you can make my life easier,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is Valentine's Day valid?
Yeah.
Do we vibe with Valentine's Day?
I think it's fine.
Or is it about love, or is it about capitalism?
Every holiday
Are we gonna go there?
Capitalism.
You think every holiday is capitalistic?
That's the thing I have about Valentine's Day. I think it's like...
I think it's the most blatantly obvious capitalistic holiday, but...
Yeah, but like I think...
Do we want to go there?
I think it's fine, and like I think... Because like Easter, why is Easter like... it has its roots, but like why the eggs? Why the eggs? Why
True.
The candy? And like same with Halloween, of like... It is also very blatantly capitalist. I think a big thing that people have is like... It's this like end-all be-all of romantic love. And so I think that it gets the rap of being like a commercialist holiday because it's like, oh, it's commercializing love. But like the other one's like, that's commercializing religion, and that's like it's... Right. I think it's just people are more cynical on the romantic side.
I see Valentine's Day as like a side character holiday anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's just a B tier holiday. So I guess I haven't really thought too much about it. I haven't thought too much about it being just a money grab.
Yeah.
And them selling the idea of love and selling heartbreak for a lot of people too.
Sorry,
How unprofessional.
That was so unprofessional.
That was really unprofessional. And I think also Valentine's Day also targets those who are not in a relationship too.
I think it honestly targets them more.
Yes, I think it does. It makes people feel like poo-poo.
It makes them feel bad on the inside.
For not being in a relationship, and I think it's plastered in front of their faces, and I think the media unfortunately tells them that if they're not in a relationship on Valentine's Day, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I think Valentine's Day at its core, without the capitalism, is valid.
Yeah.
I think it's a day that definitely celebrates love. I think the pressure that comes around it, knock it off.
Yeah, like I think it's the thing of like, it's only a big deal I think to people, and not like that you shouldn't go and have a fun time with your partner or your friends or whatever, but I think it's only like a make or break day for people who are not getting the love on the other days. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, then you guys should break up.
Right.
And so like...
That's so true!
Yeah.
That's so true. Valentine... Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, my partner made me feel special on Valentine's Day. Well, do they make you feel special other days?
Other days. That's so facts. But I think that's definitely an argument against it is performative romance, indeed. Because I think asking to be your Valentine when you're already in a relationship is already implied. And so is asking someone to be your Valentine inherently performative?
Yeah, but sometimes performative things are fun.
Well, sometimes I just want to be asked if I can be someone's Valentine's.
I think it's so funny.
It's so fun.
I have a friend who, not a romantic thing, but this person saw me and one of my exes break up on Easter. And, but since then we've always been like, oh, will you be my egg this Easter? And so, like, it's just, like, fun.
It's just fun, yeah. Hi guys, it's Meg. Our audio cut out, so I'm hopping on to finish the podcast here. Tune in next week when Rene and I will talk about how our phones are ruining our lives. That's all. Goodbye.